Guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Foster's channel, and if this is the first time you are coming across this channel, welcome and kindly subscribe to my channel. If you're an old subscriber, welcome back at the real G. So in this video, okay, today is Vlogmas day 5, and I really feel it's going to work, and I'm really happy I finally joined this Vlogmas of a thing. This is going to be the first time I'm trying out a YouTube channel challenge, and hopefully it will come out positively. So today we're going to be talking about how I started my business. I'm a baker based in Anambra for now. I make cakes, small chops, and other pastries. So today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I actually started my cake business. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. Welcome back. Don't mind me. So, if you are in Nigeria, and you know that for some of us, we wish for something when we are younger, and then coming into university, kind of jump. If you're in Nigeria, you know what I'm talking about. Jump will kind of redecide for you. It doesn't happen for everybody, by the way. It happens for some people. And should I call it unfortunately or fortunately? I didn't get the course I wanted to study. So, when I finally got into the university, studying a course I didn't really want to, like, I didn't sign up for the course, but unfortunately I got it at that time. I saw myself, you know, studying the course. At first I wanted to change course, like change switch departments, but the process was getting long and I got distracted from the course I got, and the exam was approaching and stuff like that, and I just had to give in and study the course, and I don't regret it one bit today. So today, I'm a baker. It happened that I got into the university, and in my 100 level and 200 level I stayed in the hostel, and my hostel was a private hostel, and we are not allowed to do certain things in the hostel, like selling of stuffs and all of that. So my roommate, she would always tell me to make cake for her, because I think in a conversation we're having, I made mention that I can bake, and I bake really nice cakes at home. Just that we do it at home as per family baking, like we just bake for ourselves, especially our birthday times. So one day she said I should bake for her. Yeah. So she got the ingredients. I told her what to buy, and then I baked the cake. It happened that the cake came out so nice. She really liked the cake. So it became very constant. Like she's always telling me to bake for her. So I liked baking. Like I liked baking. Anything that has to do with, baking. I like those kind of stuff. So I was baking for her with happiness and joy in my heart. So at one point when I baked for her, we were having a conversation and she told me, um, Faustina, don't you think your cakes are nice and you should, consider baking them to sell? I think that was in my 200 level. I was like, well, how do I start selling cake? I don't understand. Like, how do I do it? She was like, you can start maybe baking cupcakes in the hostel, selling cupcakes. Your cakes are nice, and I'm sure people will like it. She was talking that into my head, and one day I bought some ingredients and decided to bake. Guys, this is the point where I had to say, okay, I'm doing this business for now. Like, what happened the first day I baked cupcakes in the hostel was what made me to continue making cake. Because that day, as I was baking, the cake was not even out. Then I was baking with my pot. I had to buy a big pot, big pot. You know how we use pots to bake. So I bought a big pot because I saw baking as a hobby then. I bought a big pot, and then I was baking. And that day when I was baking the cupcakes, you know how when you are baking you cannot cover the way the scent of the cake, you cannot cover the smell. So as I was baking, people were coming into the room. Four, are you baking? Four, are you baking? When I now said yes, I'm baking, and I'm baking cupcake for sale. You guys, come see how people were coming. Please, I want five. Please, I want six. Please, I want this one. Before you know it, it couldn't even go round. Like It didn't even go around. I think I made just 25 pieces of cupcakes then, and I was selling it 50 naira at that time. The cakes finished instantly before it came out of the oven. Like they were all booked. I was like, wow, is it that easy? I never knew it was going to be that easy. But then after that day, I found it very interesting. Like, so if I could turn my hobby to maybe a source of income as a year two student, then it's going to be nice because it doesn't distract me from schooling, it doesn't distract me from going for lectures. I just make it at my leisure time, right? So that is how I just like picked interest and decided to venture into this cake business. I started saving up money little by little. And when I got my first hand mixer, I bought it for like, no, it was a stand mixer actually. I bought a stand. I wanted to buy a hand mixer, but I I later reconsidered and bought a stand mixer, but it was a small stand mixer. I bought it then for 14,000 naira, and it was it was like one of the biggest thing I've done for myself. I swear, like so it was like one of the biggest thing that I've actually done for myself. I felt like okay, I've started this thing and I'm going to continue. When I bought the stand mixer, I started buying cake molds, started buying different things that I need for my cake business. So I continued baking the cupcakes and they were all selling out fast, quickly. And then I've not actually like, said that this is what I'm going to continue doing till I graduate. It was even people around me that kept on pushing me, like always telling me, "Are you baking today?" I'll be like, "Do you want cake?" They will not be like, "Yeah, I want cake." Once you are baking again, it's all sold out. So it got to a point where our hostel manager came and wrote a notice paper downstairs that any business transaction going on in the hostel should end, blah 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 blah. Like it was really bad that I felt like, oh, is it now that I started my business that you people want to stop all these things? Because initially a business in the hostel was going on and nothing was being said per se. Like nobody said you should not do business. Just that we knew that there's some certain things that we don't need to do in the hostel, like not all business but all these small business. I felt like you could actually do them in the hostel. So they put down a notice board that everybody should stop baking, everybody should stop doing any business in the hostel. I got more frustrated. I was like, okay, maybe even if I'm doing it, I shouldn't make it to be like business. Everybody will come and buy it codedly and go and all of that. So one day it happened that I was baking in the kitchen, and then the scent of this cake went round the hostel. I'm in the last floor, um, three-story building. I'm in the last floor, and the manager found her way to the kitchen where I was baking. I felt like she was going to, like seize my gas, do a lot of things, even suspend me from the hostel and all of that. But she just told me that she perceived the scent of my cake from downstairs and decided to come up and see where it's happening. I was like, oh, I didn't know. And in my mind already, I had in mind to like, take down some cakes to her. Maybe in the evening, like after baking, I will take down like two cupcakes to her. Let me just give her, not like I want to do anything or I had any plans in mind. I just wanted to gift her the cake. So later that evening, she came again when I was still baking and told me that I should make cake for her. I was like, how? Like make cake for you? What kind of cake? I was not scared because it has passed students. Like this is no longer me baking for students. Like this is now like I'm baking for an external body. So it wasn't an easy something, when you start baking and you're not too sure that other people will like it. And so I accepted it too. I told her no problem that I'm going to bake for her. She said I should bake about 11 cupcakes for her, that she's taking it home for her kids. I was like, okay. So she brought me money and gave me money because she asked me how much I was selling it. I told her. So when I was done baking, I kept her cake. And when she came up again, she just came directly to where I stay and gave me the money. Honestly, guys, like this thing kind of gingered me again. I was like, I've started this thing. Oh, people are now coming to buy even outside the hostel. Like, wow. There was a time the church society I was in, Legion of Mary, the time that we're doing a send forth party, and One of them has like she tested my cake, and on that occasion when they were looking for baker, she mentioned my name and said I can bake. I was like, wow, I know I can bake, but I've not really, not like I bake like that. I just used to bake, but I don't know. I cannot call myself a baker like that. So she said I should just take the work now. I should just take the work. I accepted me. Then I wasn't really doing the business because of the money. I was just like, I'm having fun doing it and it feels good, seeing people enjoy what you made. That's what I had in mind. And that was what keeps me going at that point. So I decided to take the work. On that day when I delivered it, guys, like I delivered the cake, the taste of the cake was very nice, but the design I can't say for sure. It was looking funny, but they appreciated it. They told me that they weren't expecting something very professional because they know that I'm still a beginner. So I was actually happy. Everybody was so happy eating it. Even we gifted some people around the cake. And from that cake, I started getting cake orders again in the hostel. So that is basically how I started my baking and doing for this person. Another person tested it from there and got my number, called me, I make for them and all of that. So in I'm going to say that making cake for me wasn't, or should I say is a passion. Is a passion. It's not something that I went to go and learn somewhere. And to date, I don't think I've gone for any physical training. I'm a self-taught baker and I bake cakes, And from baking cakes, I had to, seeing that is now a business for me and I can actually manage it with my school, I had to find ways to make it a business and take it serious. So I got an order one time. I think the person wanted me to make chin chin for them. So I decided to give it a try. I've not made chin chin before. I've not made chin chin before. I just searched on YouTube how to make chin chin. I saw different videos and I was like, okay, I can make it. Once I see it, I can make it. And then after I delivered the chin chin, I was getting I was getting good reviews. Like as an upcoming baker, I won't tell you that I got bad reviews. I didn't get bad reviews from people. Like even strangers that were patronizing me through referrals were always giving me good review about my product. So I think that is basically what made me to started paying for online classes. I paid for I remember then when there was COVID-19 um, break, and everybody went home, and I decided to further my training because everybody was just bored at home. We're all bored at home, so I came across an advert on Facebook, and I decided to look into it, and then it was a cake training video advert, sorry. So I clicked on the link and went and did some research about the baker in question and found out she was genuine. So I contacted her through the link, the WhatsApp link on the post, and she told me that yes, the class is about to start in the next 2 days or so. So I made my payment there. When I paid in the class, it was like the class was I needed the class because not just that I learned in that class, I also met people in that class. Like I met a lot of people like me, people that are not professional, people that wants to learn as well, people that are not. I even met people that I know that I'm better than, people that ask questions that even people that don't bake knows. Like you know how it can be like when you enter a class and there are lots of calibers of people are there. So I met quite a number of people, and sometimes I ask question, people that knows it, they answer even when the tutor is not online. So it was kind of motivating, like seeing people that are learning with me online. And I did my further research and found out that this stuff are the things I need to practice before I actually perfecting it. Next, I invested my money again, buying cake ingredients, trying out different recipes that were taught. Because in the class, everybody kept on submitting their video. This is my vanilla cake recipe, cake. This is my chocolate. Like everybody just kept on proving that they were serious. And Me, as someone that nobody forced me to come and learn, I had to be serious because I paid with my money and I needed to get the value for it. So I decided to practice. I started practicing different recipes I got from the class, and they were all nice actually. They were nice. Um, so that's how my early days in baking was like. It was just like trials and error. It got to a point where when I was mixing using my hand, using my spatula, my wooden spatula. You know how wooden making cake manually can be. So when I was baking with that, I was getting very nice results and very nice cakes until I bought my mixer. The joy of mixing with a hand mixer made me to I made like a lot of mistakes that almost discouraged me. So when I was whisking, the first day I used my mixer, I baked my cake. It was, rising in the oven. It was looking so fine. Excuse me. When I brought it out from the oven, the cake just fell. Like after rising, the thing just fell and then broke into different parts. Like it was looking very ugly. I was like, what happened? I feel like maybe is I added extra baking powder or something. I asked my tutor in class and she told me it's probably baking powder, or she told me a lot, or maybe I exposed my cake while it was baking and breeze entered and altered with the baking process. Like a lot of people said different things and I was really sad. So in the next batch, when I wanted to like try it again because I was now scared to bake because me that was baking when I did not learn, now that I went to go and learn, I'm not getting it right. So it was really disturbing and I had to, make another one using my hand mixer again. And this time around, it happened again. I was like, what is happening? Like, I told a lot of people around me then, and they, like, all of them they kept on encouraging me, you know, this kind of thing. They were just encouraging me. And I'm so happy for the kind of people I had around me at that point. Like, they were really helpful and motivating, honestly. Okay. After that second time that this thing happened, I had to be like, okay, it's like this my hand mixer is actually like spoiling things for me because how can me that is already baking, making this kind of nonsense cake? Okay, sorry. I had to keep the hand mixer now by the side and say I'm going to try my old way of using my wooden spatula. And after baking that day, the cake came out very good. And that was the time I realized that, oh, maybe the hand mixer was over mixing it. And I told my tutor about my new hand mixer, and she was like, yeah, that was the problem because she didn't know I got a hand mixer. So she was like, that was the problem, that I over mixed my butter, and then the it was just messed up. So me learning the cake, it wasn't easy and all of that. It was just based on trial and error. I made lots of mistakes, wasted lots of ingredients, and had lots of heartbreak. Oh my god. That was basically it. So in this video, I'm going to advise whoever wants to start any business. You don't have to be 100% perfect. If you are starting a business or whatever thing you want to start, you don't have to be perfect to start. If you are starting, you have to start with an open mind to learn, to relearn, to unlearn. Be open, have an open mind, welcome suggestions and, stuffs like that. Just know that a lot of trials will come, and the only thing that will make you prosper is if you are willing to overcome those um those trials, whatever. So guys, don't mind my brain. That was like brain loss. Like my brain just stopped working for a minute and I got it back. So if you are watching to this moment, honestly, I don't even know what to thank. I don't know how to thank you because I know that this video will be long and it's not intentional. I didn't intend for it to be long. It's a real life experience and sometimes it can be lengthy. Even though I had more to talk about, but I had to consider the viewers, and it's not going to be easy watching a very lengthy video. So I have to stop here. And if you are a new subscriber, or if you are coming across my channel for the first time, please subscribe, hit the notification bell to always get notified when I post a new video. And if you're a returning subscriber watching, I love you. Oh, guys, we're going to stop today here, and I'm going to see you on my next video. Bye.